Good evening, everyone. Thank you all for tuning in to Sunday Evening with Roxanne. We just started, just got to 7 o'clock. We got a few people popping into the room. Thank you so much for joining. We'll wait a couple minutes to get some more folks in here. Go ahead and hit the thumbs up button if you like it. And of course, if you have not subscribed to my channel, feel free to do so. And we will get started on an idea I want to talk about this week. There we go. We got a few people going. Good. So when you do this kind of work, yes, hi. When you do this kind of work, the work of self-discovery, you're going to come across a lot of parts of consciousness that you don't understand. You have a very limited mind. That's your memory. That's your capability of your current mind to function and postulate and theorize and do some stuff like that. We got all that, right? It's how we figure out life. We think about it. We get advice. We have a way to navigate. We take precautions. We look for the best case scenario, the worst case scenario, and we use this to guide ourselves through this treacherous life of polarity. And welcome from Hola, from Argentina. Hello, Maca. And we have a very incredibly minute resource to navigate your life from. Now, it is a very human way. Welcome, Raven. I'm doing great. Hello, Ginger. I'm doing great, Raven. Thanks for asking. Okay, we have this memory, this self that we are, our experience. So let's say I'm 57. I thought I was 58, but someone told me I was 57. I was like, I didn't do the math very good. Hello, Bailey. Yes, we do live in our world of our own creation. Absolutely. So that memory of my 57 years, I'm going to throw out 10 years and walking around when I was little and gathering information and coveting these beliefs and seeing how everyone and how to think about it, how to navigate life. We think we actually pull, P-U-L-L, pull from that resource of our memory, but we don't, because memory is created in the moment according to the vibration. That's why you remember some things and you don't remember other things. That's why people remember it this way and you remember it this way. Everyone is their own universe. Everyone is their own subjective reality, including the memory. The memory is not a standard. It is not applicable to all. It is only applicable to you. Okay? Hoska, hey, giving lots of greeting from Australia. Much light and love and light to you, my friend. Thank you so much, Hoska. Or is it Husko, my pardons. So I was doing this work, and I've been doing this work for a long time. And I understand we create our own reality. We understand it's all ourselves. And I start recognizing my own belief systems, my own bullshit. The way I was feeling was an interpretation of my truth. And I was creating my own world, and I'm not having a very fucking good time about it because I'm angry and I'm upset. And here's the reasons why. And I always had justifications. I always had reasons, but those reasons were always countered and opinionated and stuff like that. And I'm getting lost. So I started doing the work, enlightening and deconstructing, years of deconstructing my values, the truth of myself, recognizing my ego, recognizing my need for control, the need for posturing, the need for I count, I belong, always needing to be validated from the outside. So once you get past all that fucking horseshit, then that takes work, it takes mastery, it takes diligence, it takes courage, it takes brutal honesty. And if you do that work, you can come upon a world that is absolutely outstanding. See, what we think is you have to go somewhere else. And as humans, we think that change is another place. Change is your relationship to this unconditional, beautiful fucking reality we're living in. This world is so fucking beautiful. All the tragedy and all the chaos is not in my world. It's in my memory if I choose it, but it's not my world. Because I live in my world and my now. And what I discovered is when you start to open yourself up to these incoming law of attraction, potentials, understanding, relationships, intelligence to reality. Hello, Lucia. Hi, darling. You can start to experience way beyond the day-to-day norms, the day-to-day emotions, the day-to-day things you think. Think. Remember that word. Think you need to do. Think you have to do. Think you're supposed to do. These all are postures. You start deconstructing. You slip into this other slipstream of consciousness, this beautiful flow of the current now. And what I discovered is we have this amazing adaptive mind. And I'm not talking about your ego mind. See, all your ego mind interprets it as a condition. That's all it fucking does. That's the relationship it has. It is a separated truth of that personality that you've created is I'm not God, and I see things through this lens of separation or polarity, good and bad, up and down, right and wrong, and you live that, right? But then I realized something else is I do a lot of studying of different things, right? I practice ESP. I practice because I have this stuff. I practice my cards, reading on what's on these cards. I practice reading people. I feel vibration. I interpret vibration. I don't interpret words. I feel. Anyways, the point is, I got to this place, this very wonderful place where you have an intelligent mind start to be present. And that intelligent mind is adaptive. Now, I don't need you to hear that. It's like AI, but not AI. It's very adaptive. It grows. So what happens is, since my mind is not my intelligent self, the one I'm accessing now, my conscious I am, access to all creation, intelligence, my mind, one and all, is adaptive. And it very, very adaptive to what I am. Now, I can structure it quickly in ego and put a condition on it and slant it in an idea of emotional relationship, a human experience. I can do that, but I choose not to. And what I discovered is this adaptive mind brings you resolve. I don't really want to say solutions because they're not questions and answers. It's never about the questions and answer anymore. It's about the inquiry or the inquisition or the intrigue, better, intrigue about discovering something and then seeing how all the parts come together. And you just kind of explore it. It only leads me back to the greatness of our species. I mean, we're on this planet for how many? I can't put a year on it because there's too much controversy on how old humanity is and our skeleton and all that horseshit. But there's a lot of incarnations. All of us share DNA. All of us share a psyche, a conscious psyche. So each one of those incarnations is billions of years of information. And that information is accessible. And we can use that consciousness of our intelligent mind, and it adapts to our humanity. See, our personality adapts to the situation. We were educated in a way of to know best or better or get better or do something about it or become something. And then when you're that, pound your chest on a soapbox and then become something again. And it's an appetical cycle. And it's not wrong. It's a very human experience, but it's not wrong. And you can have that life. But when you come over, hello, Amanda. When you come over here, this world, here's what I got. I look at different aspects of reality, and they're never, and caution yourself on this, masters, there's never an outcome with what I do any longer. I've defeated outcome. It's a waste of time if it doesn't lead somewhere, because that there is self-defeating. That there stifles and damps out the spirit of expansion, because your mind is saying, where is this going? What's it going to do for me? Because that's what our society, every action has to have a measurable result that makes you better. And that's an external world. And we've been living with the external world. I lived for it until I was, when I stopped. I stopped. So you come to an internal world and you're creating, like Hosco said, hello, Dominic. Hello, Bailey. Bailey had said, we live in a world of our own creation. Yes, we do. And it's all about relationship of truth. What resides in you is truth, not your mind. See, your mind is a memory idea. So if something bad happens, you go, I didn't want to create that. I didn't ask for that. That wasn't my creation. See, that's your ego talking to you. You got to look at the vibration. There's two states of being in this field, authentic or inauthentic. When you're the not God, the false God, the separated God, the one that you don't know your God, that you still have to have responsibility, obligation, dedication, motivation, purpose, meaning, outcome, measurement, then you know you're not being God, because God doesn't need those things. God just does one thing. It creates itself. It calls in all of creation to service itself. Not in arrogant ways, not at the expense of other ways. Those are human measurements. So what you got to do is you got to look at the shit that you're doing and you're feeding and you're energizing and you're continuing. Energy follows awareness. Abraham 101. It's said a million times. So if you put your diarrhea into your diarrhea, you're going to get fucking diarrhea, right? So when you stop doing that shit, I'm telling you, I promise you, well, you just can't stop it. This isn't a thing on the wall. That gives an inspirational speech, and then you look at it when you come into work and go, oh yeah, I'll be that today. We're not talking about those hopes and aspirations and repeating things 20 times. We're talking about looking at your own shit, your brutal honesty. It's you that's insane. It's you that are false to yourself. And what do you do about it? You deconstruct it. And when you deconstruct it, you let this light in, this tiny little sliver of beauty, of unconditional matching resonance to the nature of you, not to your ego, not to what you think you want, not what will make you happy or keep you away from all the fears. It's not going to be that, because that's all the stuff that is keeping you human, keeping you separated. Hello, Amanda. What you do is take that down and you find this intelligence, and this wonderful adaptive mind will start to teach you. When you start to focus down on here, it becomes your partner. It's the mirror. Absolutely letting in some magic, Amanda. It becomes the mirror of your passion, your focus. See, we think we have to effort focus. I don't have to effort anything. You don't have to effort anything. All you do is focus on it. Do you have to physically move? Of course. I'm building the most epic broom right now. It is the most beautiful broom. I have 70% of them building myself, but there's things that I can't. So I have, the wrapping of the bristles around the broom. I did that myself, but it wasn't as good as I wanted. So I had it wrapped by a broom maker in Oregon. Anyways, the point is I'm going to have to put that together. I go out and figured out how to put the seat on and get the stirrups so you can rest your feet on it. And then I put on this little hook on it, and I'm going to wrap it in leather. And I got a couple other ideas. So this fucking epic broom, and that is a passion. So I have to do things, but I'm not doing it for an outcome. I'll never do it for an outcome. I'm doing it. Outcome is in time. Outcome is the future. Now it's piece by piece, filling, growing the self. And the adaptive mind starts to picture. You ever think of Tesla? Alternate current, direct current? You ever hear the story about how he figured that out? It came to him in a fucking dream. And then when he woke up the next day, he had the whole image in his mind because he was tuned into the adaptive mind. And it told him how to build it. Thank God, because Edison's bullshit fucking direct current system sucked. We would have transfer stations every 100 feet to get the electricity to the house. But here comes Tesla, right down Tesla lane. Alternate current, direct current. Changed everything. Everything. Because he listened to the intelligence, because he wasn't distracted about what life is. Now, the distraction of life is very, very appetital. It makes you feel good because you have identity, you have emotion. And we've been living that emotional system since we got to the planet. We think thought. Someone had said, and I mentioned this last week, we think thought equals emotion. No, it doesn't. Thought is unconditional. Our truth about the unconditional, including thought, because that's the original creation, and everything here is thought, and then we condition it with our truth. So going beyond that led me to this passion of understanding. Passionate, a place when you can start to meditate and go to places I can't explain to you, I won't explain to you, because it would be rude for me to explain to you, because then you're going to think about how to do that. No, go find out. Go find out. Channeling, taking me places in my channeling that I can never have imagined. Because this is this mind right here that all of you own. Because you're me, one and all, just from a different singular point of view. Is the only fucking difference is our truth is unique and everyone's truth is true. What the wonderful thing about this is you have access to it. And then you can change this whole freaking life out here. All of your fears, all of your worries, all of them gone, because you don't have the relationship. Everything you're ever going to need, you will call to you. Everything, 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 everything. Every ounce of thing you possibly can ever need will be called to you. But it's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen next week. It's going to happen in years from now. You have to do the work. It's a master class. Any of you out there have a PhD or a master's, you know it's work. You got to go to work. You got to put your head down and work. But the work here is internal. It's recognizing that you barking up great ideas. Look at this. I understand this. Because you want other people to understand that your account is something. You never have to be validated ever again. Can you imagine the freedom of that? You have to put out authentic, the truth of you. That's the greatest work that we ever can do. I know the masterclass. I love what we do. My view has changed so many times about people, humanity. You know, I looked at them and I was like, what are you guys doing? Don't do that to yourselves. You're hurting yourselves. But they don't see it. They think it's real. But then I'm vibrating compassion. If I vibrating compassion, I'm enabling them. Because they're getting the energy of, oh, I'm not as good. I can be better. Because I'm putting that into the collective. I won't have compassion, empathy for anybody. Not an intent. My actions, whatever they look like to the collective, whatever they look like are interpreted by them. To me, they're one thing, unconditional love, my purest action, my purest words, my authentic, have no vibration intertwined of conditions, zero. Because it's only about this. This is the only thing that I feel. I don't feel you. I can't feel what you feel. You can't feel what I feel. I can't make you do anything. You can't make me do anything. All of that is horseshit. We all have choice and we all have recognition of self. We all have to do the work and to enlighten ourselves. And this adaptive mind that I've discovered is telling me things. It's teaching me things. All the things that my memory can conjure up on what's possible after ascension, or when you start to ascend, or getting to a place of this beauty, what it's going to be. And it's nothing like that. Every time I move and shift into a new relationship with myself, I birth a new self and release an old self, and I start to feel this expansion. It's never what I thought it was going to be, which only tells me the value of living now, the value of now. Now is eternal. So you can look at this adaptive mind when you start to discover it, and you've done enough work to not let your ego interfere with it with collective ideas of thought. Here, what you guys don't need anymore is instruction. You don't need to be led. You're no longer followers. Are you worth it though? Are you worth that discovery? Amanda says, such a grace when we are more than ourselves integrating, more of ourselves integrating. I had a very interesting ketamine experience. What's ketamine? I don't know what that is. The other night, almost let go of the ego completely. And it was like, wow, and shared with a beautiful being. And shared with a beautiful being. That's cool. Yeah, if that's a drug, which it sounds like it, and yeah, you can get a lot of release with these LSDs and ayahuascas and stuff, but they're not. It's not permanent. See, you can't change you until you change you. No external can change the internal. So do the work, guys. Our system is there's someone in charge. And when you gain enough, feel this for a second, okay? Of course it opened doors for you, of course, but they shut right back down because you're still the same truth, Amanda. You have to deconstruct your truth of separation. It's not good or bad. It's an inauthentic self. That's what you need to look at. You're welcome, Renee. So what you have to look at is the system that we grew up in. It's a progressive system. It's ingrained. All of you went through some kind of progressive education, and you were labeled as you moved along, right? Oh, Debbie, thank you so much. Debbie with the super chat, $25. Thank you, baby. So let's think about that winding or reinforcement of that entire system, and now you gain this enough knowledge and you have something that's valuable and you put it out there and you get a good positive feedback, and then you start to depend on it and depend on these things that are validated by the outside, and it becomes your life. Challenge yourself to say no when you really want to say no. And I don't give a fuck who's in front of you. But that's where courage has to come in. And you have to trust the unknown realities that you'll never see and you can never predict, ever. You can predict out of your memory, but that's trash because your memory is a condition and it's separated and it's a vibration of inauthentic. And you'll never know what the authentic outcome is going to be because you're not vibrating that until you do. And when you do, then you see the change in yourself. And it's represented by the change in the reflection of the mirror. So the versions of people change. And a lot of them won't like what you've become. Why? Because they're depending on you. Because they're depending on you. They need you to be the person that you are. If you're not the person that you are, then they don't have a dependency of certainty. You ever look at that? Reliable? And then you have to look at it this way. You have to look at it as my ego is what I'm depending on. And that cycled mind brought through a relationship. It's not the thoughts. It's not what it is. It's not the details of the thing. It's not who did what to whom and the reasons and the explanations. It's not that. It's the relationship. Everything is the relationship. Are you interpreting it through a polarized condition? A point of view that deems an emotional relationship. Whether it's good or bad is irrelevant. It has that. See, this relationship of self, right? This relationship of self that you have is chosen again and again and again because it's comfortable. The constant of change is always available, but humans only choose the inauthentic because it's more familiar. They fight for the reasons to be a certain way. People depend on you to be a certain way. And then when you start to get the proper feedback from that, and the proper feedback Doesn't matter if it's good or bad. That's why we have assholes in the world. That way we have Karens running all over fucking YouTube making asses of themselves because they're getting validated. That's the only reason they're getting validated. That posture that they're projecting to the mirror is getting fed. When they get fed, whether it's good or bad, it gives them life. Make sense? Don't bullshit yourself. You guys have an opportunity to do this. But you have to really recognize yourself. If any time of the day you feel obligation, you feel fear, you feel loss, you feel hope, you feel need, you feel want, you feel desire, then you know you're working with the conditioned self. The unconditional is. That's all it is. It is. It doesn't have reasons. It doesn't have a belief system that it has to fight for. It doesn't want to know itself and go, look, I know all this and I'm right, everybody. Gods don't do that. Gods create. That's all we do. We don't create horseshit. We create our vibration of pure fucking unconditional resonance. Perfect. My world is perfect. Why? Because I'm not fucking it up anymore. And the only one that fucks it up is me. When I place a human in there, when I put that human perspective into my energy, my vortex, it's going to get reflected back to me. But I'm on guard. I've created the master observer. I've created a point to where I can go to the neutrality and look at the choices I have. And probably the first 4 years of creating this observer, I was sucked in and pulled into the emotion because it was very valuable to me. Otherwise, I wouldn't act about it. I was fighting for my belief systems. I was arguing. I was saying, yeah, but. And that's fighting for my negative beliefs. And you've all heard Bashar, you hold on to your beliefs. But you just can't let go. Because they're the truth of you. That's the identity that has the power equal to God, because it is God. It is the creator. And it's using the conditioned point of view to create with. You never lost your powers to create. You just can't do it through a separated mind that lives in time, lives in intention, lives in hope, lives in the future, lives in the past. It doesn't understand and relate to the now. So you have to look with the observer at your shit and come face to face with you and go, do I want to continue this life just like this? Because it's up to me. It's only up to me. But if you want to keep assigning it to beautiful, fact-finding, terrific, because they said it must be true, then just keep drinking the fucking Kool-Aid. And your life will never change. You'll be the same version of separation, living between the two layers, two poles of polarity. Oh, you'll get change in your life. You'll maybe get a new house, a new boyfriend, or a new girlfriend, or a new car. You'll get these fun little things that go, oh, look what I got. I need these things to make myself feel better. How do you need the outside to feel the inside? Are you guys looking hard enough at yourself? It's a master class, and the greatest thing I know about it is it works. The work I do works. We're creating a whole new perspective here. It's a human that didn't die to go back home. It's a human that realizes that it's not a human when it only knew it itself as a human. And with that new knowledge and wisdom and love for itself, creates a new species, creates a new way for the collective to move forward. You can be a part of it. But you got to go into your kingdom, and you got to look at all the bullshit that you built your blueprints on. Go back to your religions, go back to your moms, your morals, every fucking thing that you think is real, and investigate it and question it. And wondering if it's your truth or not. And it need not be validated by emotion. There's a difference between emotion and authentic. Emotion needs justification. Authentic is this wonderful thing called knowing. It's called the knowing. When you know it, you have no reason for belief. Beliefs are vulnerable. They're defended. They're justified. They're fought for. We kill for beliefs. We kill each other. Yay! Right? So maybe do that. Maybe look at the inauthentic self, start working on it, and let this intelligence that you have access to come in and start adapting to the consciousness of your focus, giving you the vibrational matches of intelligence as opportunity to make the choices that bring forward the resonant reflection of you. You just get these things in your head. But it's not. These abilities are not things that are circus shows. We're not a fucking circus show. We're not an act. Don't let your ego sell you. Oh, I get these abilities, and then we can do this and we can do that, and I can create out of thin air. That's a child on the playground bragging about its bullshit. This world is for adults. There's adults all over this world, but not one of them is an adult. They're all fucking children. Very few people mature into the God that don't play in the polarized playground any longer, the dirty fucking sandbox of separation. I can't like that. Why can't I like that? Oh, I can heart it. Okay, there we go. Anyways, do the work. I'm going to do another. I'm waiting for a couple of things to show up that I ordered. And I'm going to do this. I had this intelligent mind, for example, this adaptive mind told me a potential. I'm going to do another channeling from the Andromedas, but I'm going to do it in a different way. I'm not going to do it in this chair. I'm going to record it and then just post it. But it's something different. Start paying attention to feeling, guys. Start learning the language of vibration. Hello, James. Welcome, baby. Hello, Steve. Learn the vibration. At the first, you can feel happy. Study the happiness. When you feel fear, study it. Observe it. Separate yourself and allow fear to run through you. Let it scare the crap out of you. But in your now, there's nothing happening because fears only happen in the future. But that's the projection of the now. Right? We all know that. So when you feel the fear, feel it. Learn the frequency, the vibration. Feel it. Learn that language because that'll teach you different vibrations. You'll start to learn vibrations and you can start to feel reality instead of think about it and react to it secondhand because you're always catching up. What happens when you just listen with your heart, your vibration? You feel reality instead of thinking about what just happened, reacting to it, living second chair. So study, feel, vibration, trust it. Let your intelligent minds lead you. You don't need a book. You don't need a leader. These are doors you got to go in. But see, the thing is you open the doors vibrationally. You choose to go in. These doors will never be shut. Okay? They're always there. Because once you understand a frequency, you learn that frequency, you can't lose access to it. So there's no loss and there's no time. So there's no time and hurry, no rush. Okay? Trust that you're a God. If you keep thinking you're not, you keep thinking you have to maintain your reality as what it is to maintain your well-being, you're fucked. Don't do it to yourself. What time is it? 34. Hello, Ginger. Okay, guys. So we have this wonderful adaptive mind that we all have access to. But first we must create the observer, recognize our horseshit, start to deconstruct it through the transcendence, and allow yourself to study vibrations, and then let this intelligent mind access your awareness and give you the potentials of change that are only perfect for you, nobody else. Don't worry about bringing anyone else with you. They'll come with you if it is a vibration. Don't fear loss, accept gain. You're welcome, Jay. All right, guys, I love you. We'll see you all next week. I'm not going to do that channeling this week unless this thing gets here first, and it might get here, it might not. So it depends on when it comes. It was shipped though. But anyways, I'll let you know. All right, masters. Highest act of love is to love yourself. Always remember that. All right, Amanda. Love you, Ginger. Thank you, darling. All right, guys, I love you all. Take care. We'll see you next week. Thank you, Renee. Good night, everyone.